A great knock in the lots, running between the 22 yards. He is a great inspiration for the younger generation, and he is none other than Mr. Dinesh Karthik, the Indian wicketkeeper, batsman, the current captain of Tamil Nadu cricket team and vice captain of Kolkata Knight Riders, who is here with us today. Started playing cricket at the early age of 9 with the guidance of his father turned coach, Mr. Krishna Kumar, who was also a first division cricketer from Chennai. Mr. Dinesh Karthik made his debut for the Indian cricket team in 2004. Starting from the age of 19, he has been scripting his success story, leading the Tamil Nadu cricket team to glorious victories, including the Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy and in the India versus England Test Series back in 2007, and the nail-biting finish with the last ball sixer in the 2018 Nidahas Trophy Tri-Nation Series. He is an inspiration for many youngsters around the globe, especially in India and Tamil Nadu. I'm sure his true sportsmanship and life journey would definitely lay ground for us in attaining success. Very happy in welcoming you, sir. Great leaders don't set out to be a leader. They set out to make a difference. On that note, I take immense pleasure and privilege in welcoming the leads of our institution. I extend my hearty welcome to our Madam Secretary, Dr. K. Meena, Secretary, National College Council and former Vice Chancellor, Bharatdasan University, who has always been very instrumental in the growth of the institution. Welcome, ma'am. I feel elated to welcome Mr. K. Chandrasekharan, our Chief Executive Officer, who has over a decade of global leadership experience at companies including Walmart, giving us the world-class experience in all areas at Santhanam Vidhyalaya. Welcome, sir. It is my pleasure in welcoming our Director, Madam, Mrs. Aparna Shekhar, who has several years of global leadership experience at companies, including FedEx and the Deutsche Bank. She is the motivating factor in all our endeavors. Welcome, ma'am. I am indeed grateful in welcoming the principal of Srimati Indira Gandhi College, senior principals, vice principals, event and webinar and IT team of all our institutions for their unceasing support in making all our events very successful. Last but not the least, as a cherry on the cake, I would like to extend my cheerful welcome to the students of Santhanam Vidhyalaya Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Sri Jayendra Matriculation High Secondary School, Sri Shankara Matriculation School, and the students from other schools who have joined us today, and the public viewers who are also here with us today as a wonderful set of audience. Once again, a hearty welcome to all those who have joined us here this morning. Thank you. And with that, may I now request our CEO, Mr. Chandrasekharan sir, to introduce our guest of honor. Please, sir.
Thank you, Principal Ma'am. Very good morning to one and all. First, let me set the stage for today's event. At Santhanam Vidhyalaya CBSE Senior Secondary School, Trichy, we believe that the best way to predict the future is to create it. Our focus is to provide world-class education and all-round development to students. And the best way to develop 21st century skills is to ensure there's a good balance between academics, sports, and extracurricular activities. As part of this effort, we have been inviting many leaders across different disciplines, and today's leader is a fantastic global champion. And I have the honor of introducing today's speaker. He's, of course, one who needs no introduction. Mr. Dinesh Karthik. He exemplifies leadership, strategic thinking, fitness, team skills, and creativity. Mr. Dinesh made his international debut at the age of 19, and till date he has played over 152 international matches representing India, scoring over 3,100 runs across all three formats of the game. And with respect to IPL, Mr. Dinesh has played in all seasons, totaling 203 matches, almost 4,000 runs and a strike rate of almost 130. And of course, he's successfully captained KKR in 2 seasons, where he led them to the playoffs in 2018 and to the fifth position in 2019. There's a couple of other interesting tidbits I would like to share about Mr. Dinesh. He won the Man of the Match award in India's first ever T20 international against South Africa in 2006. He is a member of the victorious 2007 World T20 team, and he has the fourth highest strike rate in T20 internationals with 362.5. And of course, even at the national level and at the state level, as the captain of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Dinesh has won 3 national titles for Tamil Nadu, and he scored 100 in each of the 3 Ranji Trophy finals he's played. So he's an amazing player, both in front of the stumps as well as behind the stumps. I'm very happy to invite the pride of Tamil Nadu and the pride of India to address all of the students. Thank you, and over to Mr. Dinesh.
Hello, everybody. A very good morning to everybody who's on this platform. At this point of time, in an ideal world, everybody knows the IPL would have been going on, and I'd probably be in Ahmedabad or Bombay playing a match. But today, and the lack of playing IPL in these last week or two has been a little hard because, as a cricketer, as a sportsman, you're always wanting to travel and, play the sport and play it for all the right reasons. But today, when I sit amidst y'all and I'm talking to y'all, I do feel very happy. I feel like for once my time is used rather productively, and as you follow a passion, as you keep going along in that journey, somewhere you encourage young people to join your journey, be a part of the journey, and try and take it along and take the legacy forward. And today I'm sitting with a bunch of school students, and I'm so happy and proud because just like you guys, I've also been part of a school. I've played, represented the school in various sports. And also, most importantly, I think if I am the person today, a lot of the success that I have achieved over a period of time has to be attributed to all the teachers and my coaches who were part of the journey at a very young age. When you play sports, sometimes education, people think that it happens to a lot of cricketers where they choose to play cricket, but then they don't pursue education. And as the career pans out towards the fag end of it, you realize a massive difference between the people who are educated, who were overseen by a bunch of great teachers, to the ones who chose not to pursue education. In a lot of decision-making skills, like, a prime example for me would be a difference between, say, a Virat Kohli and a Vinod Kambli. Vinod Kambli was a very, very, very talented cricketer, but he fell off the radar due to various reasons. He had a lot of, but Virat Kohli, started in the same path, under 19 captain, went on to win the World Cup. But after that, his journey has just been upward, and a lot of credit. You speak to him, and, obviously I've had the privilege to speak to him, and you realize it's because of his schooling, his upbringing, the way the amount of things that were taught by the teachers at a young age is what has made him into the cricketer that he is. Today, we can all be proud of a Virat Kohli or for MS Dhoni, mainly because of 2 reasons. One, for the quality of cricket they've played. B, for the people they are in the society today. They are excelling not only in their sport, in their path that they've chosen, but they are also upstanding citizens of the country who, in dire times, like in COVID times like these, they are coming out and helping people and spreading the right word and spreading the right knowledge amongst the society. And that is a very important attribute that all the teachers on this platform will be teaching you all. That no matter how well you grow, it's important to hold your stead as a human being and respect elders, respect people who have been part of the journey, not forget the ones who have always helped you in very, very small issues. I remember, in my journey, I remember a maths teacher, who was very fun-loving, who was passionate about teaching maths. And I still remember him today because when I'm standing in the crease and I'm trying to calculate what the score is required and how many balls and how the difference is and how I should do, it's the maths teacher who's helped me when I was young, is what is achieving me, is what is helping me choose the right decisions. Because if that maths teacher wasn't there at that stage, I wouldn't be the person I am today. He's played a small part in my life, but it's important to remember these people. I know everybody a lot of y'all would love to go to school right now, but because of the COVID situation prevalent all over the country, everybody is sitting. But I'm really giving a lot of credit to Chandrasekharan sir and to everybody on the teachers on this platform to choose this avenue, because if y'all don't allow people like, at various fields and various disciplines to come and interact with these kids, they will never understand how education is important in the growth of a person, not only character wise, but also in taking the right decisions at various points of time. Every day in your life, you will be challenged to take decisions, and it is the education and the upbringing that's going to help you make the right decision. You can see that in every aspect, in every student's life and every kid's life. As they keep moving, and 10th standard, what do you choose? As you move on to 12th standard, when you go to college, what is the decision that you're going to take? When do you choose whether you should pursue education or whether you should pursue sports? These are all tough questions that will always be thrown to you at various points of time. One of the things that I learned along this journey of playing the sport is team. There's an acronym for team, TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. I think that is a great way to sum up what cricket as a sport is all about, because it is a team sport. There are so many days when I have scored or I've scored 5 and the team has ended up winning. And on the other side, there are so many days when I have scored 50, 60 and the team has not ended up winning. My point here is, at the end of the day, when you work together as a team, irrespective of you having a good day or a bad day, you have a bunch of people that you can rely on. You have a bunch of people that you can, look up to. You have a bunch of people that you worked with who has helped you in the growth of you moving forward as a team. I remember in the 2019 World Cup that I was part of, that was in England, and we lost to New Zealand. A great example for me is the New Zealand team. In the Indian team, we had individual brilliance shining throughout the tournament. But when it came to the semi-finals, at the end of the day, in the New Zealand team, they hadn't won as many matches as an Indian team had won in the league phase of the tournament. But when they came to the semi-finals, every player in that team had played 6 to 7 matches and all had performed in 2 to 3 matches. If you take the names of the New Zealand cricketers to the Indian cricketers that were there is Ross Taylor, but we have a Rohit Sharma. We have Jasprit Bumrah. We have Virat Kohli. The names are big. But what New Zealand did achieve and did do really well was they played as a team. They had very, very small names who haven't achieved greatness and who haven't done big things individually like the Indian players. But what they did do on that day is come out and play together as a team and just did enough to help cross the line. Even MS Dhoni's last run out was a massive team effort, because the right fielder, Martin Guptill, was standing at the right position for him to effect that run out. So when you're working together as a team, the decision taken is always much more clarity and with much more prudentness than if you would as an individual, because it's not only one mind thinking, but there is 3-4 minds aligned and thinking in the right direction with one leader to help move the ship forward, which will always help. When you're let's take, when I was in school, I used to enjoy my cricket a lot more. And when I look back at it, I used to enjoy playing for my school and for my club a lot more than in other areas. And when I think back about it, it was because we played as a team. And when I say that, even today, my good friends are from those teams, my best friends, like how y'all are in school right now. And as y'all are listening to this, y'all will realize that 5, 8, 10 years down the line, when y'all are working for various IT companies or when you're doing businesses on your own, you will still realize that the friends that you'll have will be from this same batch of students that you all are moving around with. So it's very important to, develop these friendships, be honest to them and help each other in your growth. You will realize, I have seen this many, many times, 10, 15 years down the line, there could be something else happening, but there will be this one friend / student from your class who will help you get a job somewhere in a space where you have not expected. And that is because of the relationship you have developed with this person in a genuine way at this point of time. I have multiple examples of this where, let's say my friends, I have been able to help my friends, place them in various jobs or place them in, get an opportunity. Let's say as a small example, one of them wanted to meet a Dhoni. If my friend wanted to meet a Dhoni, it would be next to impossible for him to, achieve that. But because of the relationship I have with him, and it was developed when I was studying in school with him, I was able to help him, achieve that small dream of his. At the end of the day, when we work as a team, we develop the right friendships and we have the right attitude towards people. Even if the answers that we want might not be momentary, in the long run, when you'll grow older, you all will realize that all these friendships and the attributes that you have given to this person will come back and help you in various shapes and forms as you grow older. And on this front, Chandrasekhan sir, I think it's important that we interact a lot more than me, speaking on my own. I could speak for a long time, but I think once we start interacting, I think the students also will engage and understand the questions and, find it far more useful for them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Dinesh sir, for a wonderful address. There's two key takeaways that I personally had just listening to you, Mr. Dinesh. Is one, it takes a village to raise a child, as you said, and two is teamwork makes the dream work. So those are the two key takeaways for me personally from Mr. Dinesh's address. So with that, before we transition to the student interaction, Mr. Dinesh, our team has made a very small tribute for you. So with your permission, if we can just play a video. IT team, please proceed.
Thank you so much. That was really nice. You brought back some lovely memories through my journey as a cricketer. Very nice. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, Mr. Dinesh. So all credits go to the team. As you said, again, teamwork works. So with that, we can transition to the Q&A session. So we have been overwhelmed by the kind of questions and both the breadth and the depth of questions we have been receiving from students ever since we announced this event. All of our phones have been ringing, and we've received a number of questions. Close to 1,000 registrations is what we received despite the pandemic, which is just fantastic. I'm reminded of an incident where Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir, our former president, was asked what is the strength of India, and he said the 600 million youth was his answer. So that was very evident as we were just sifting through the questions, narrowing down from over 600 questions to what are the top 30 questions was quite a challenge for our team. So we have done our best. So with that, I also have to sneak in a couple of my own questions here because this is an opportunity that I would like to make use of as well, with your permission, Mr. Dinesh.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Happy to answer.
So thank you, sir. If you, Kanimuri ma'am, if you can just share your screen and display the picture. the first question. Okay. So a lot of people, one of the first images when you think of Mr. Dinesh Karthik is, of course, the Nidahas Trophy final where he hits the winning shot. That absolutely is a favorite moment of mine as well. But if we go back in time to Mr. Dinesh's debut in 2004, India tour of England, and specifically that fantastic stumping of Michael Vaughan, I just wanted to get your thoughts from this stumping and also from that debut match, Mr. Dinesh.
Chandrasekhar sir, for a start, I think it's a fabulous question. But I must say, most of the students in this platform, y'all wouldn't have been even born this time, when this stumping happened. So this is a very old man question, but please listen to it. And this was my first tour. I had got selected in 2004. I had a couple of good seasons of Ranji Trophy, represented India and under 19. I was just 19 years old, just like how y'all will be in a few years' time. Just moved out of college and just wanted to pursue cricket. I was very lucky when I got selected to Zimbabwe for the India A tour. And interestingly, one more person was there with me on the tour was MS Dhoni. So we both went to Zimbabwe. And from there, I did so well that they picked me for this England series that happened just now. This was my debut match. We played in Lords. I think I was very privileged and very honored that I could make my debut. Lords is known as the home of cricket. And I was very lucky to have made my ODI debut there, one-day international debut there. It was a very low-scoring game. It was we had scored 200, 210, and they interestingly they were about 180 for 5 or 6, and from there this stumping was a very important stumping at that point of time because he was batting on 75-80. The batsman's name is Michael Vaughan. He's now a commentator and he has very interesting things to say on the social media these days. And it was a very important stumping at that point of time in the game. I was very ready for it. Just like how all of y'all should be, in the sense that when y'all move into the real world, it's important that y'all grab every opportunity that comes your way. On that day, till that time, I didn't get a catch, I didn't get a stumping. Generally, in international cricket, you have good fast bowlers, so you'll at least get a caught behind. But on that day, we didn't get any caught behind, but the game was very interestingly poised. And I was waiting for a moment for me to make a difference in that game. I batted, but I didn't get too much that game. So I tried my best to do something in the keeping front. And luckily for me, this stumping came my way. And I think till today, it remains one of the better stumpings that I've done. And what stands out for me is my eagerness to want to do well in that situation. I wanted to do well in that situation. So whenever you all have exams, whenever you all have job interviews, whenever you all have a chance to move ahead into the future, it's important that the will to win should always be greater than the fear of losing. So when that happens, you're always ready for anything that is thrown your way. So when you're ready for anything that is thrown your way, you have the best chance of letting your instincts come out and react to it in the most natural possible way. So if I had to sum up that stumping to something that all the students should relate to, it is when the exams do come, don't fear it. And even if you fear it, it's okay. But remember one thing, always the will to win, the ability to study and prepare for your exams should always be better than the fear of failing in an exam. And that will always help you achieve much better results as a student.
It's fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So the next question is from Deeptika from Sri Jendra Matriculation School and B. Madhumita from Vignesh Sriranga Matriculation School. They had asked two questions which were pretty similar, so we just combined them. This question is about ambition, Mr. Dinesh. What inspired you to choose cricket, and specifically, why did you choose to become a wicketkeeper batsman?
Ambition. Ambition is the key to growth. There is a saying in English, aim for the sky, you'll fall at the rooftop. And that's very similar to me in my career. I wanted to be the greatest cricketer that ever played the sport. I always aimed for that. I always worked towards that. Didn't happen, but definitely today, if I'm sitting here and speaking to all of y'all, it is because of the efforts that I've put in through my career. I might not have reached my ambition, but definitely, as the saying would go, I aimed for the sky, I fell at the rooftop. So instead of playing 500 matches, I played 150 matches for India, which only a handful of people have done. So I'm very proud that with whatever I've achieved, I know today when I sit back, I'll be very happy with what I've achieved. So similarly, one of the things that I will be doing is not only explaining my reasons and what happened in my life, but I'm speaking to a bunch of young people who is the future of India, who is the future of the world, and hopefully they will strive and take it to the right places required for each and every one of us to make this place a better one to live in. So I will be not only, talking about my life, but I will also try and make it as sensible as you can for the young boys, for the third standard, for the fourth standard, for the 10th standard, for the 12th standard, all these boys to relate to, and make sure that when they leave this platform after an hour, they should either feel motivated or feel, what, that was right, I'm going to do something about this. And in that on and I'll constantly be comparing and contemplating and probably discussing with you all to take things forward in life. But most importantly, I chose wicket keeping because that was a field where I was good at, I was passionate towards, I enjoyed wicket keeping. Batting came to me naturally, but I always chose wicket keeping as well. So, when you go to 10th standard and we're in the 11th standard, when you have to choose whether you have to go the, maths, physics, chemistry, computer science, or maths, physics, chemistry, biology, always choose the option that you're passionate about and that it will not be hard for you to excel in. What's important is you always choose, when there is a difficult decision to take, always choose the one that you're more passionate about. And if both of it is not passionate about, then probably you're looking in the wrong direction. The greatness about where the world is today is, when I was growing up, there were only two things that was accepted in at least in my household. One is a doctor, one is an engineer. But today, there are so many avenues, there are so many various platforms for you all to succeed in. The pressures are very different to what it was. There's a lot of competition in every phase, in every subject that you choose in. But if you're passionate towards this and you're honest towards it and you want to make a difference in whatever you're doing, definitely, as they would say, the sky is the limit. The world is your oyster. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. But the most important thing, whatever you want to do it with a lot of passion, with a lot of sincerity, and most importantly, with a lot of honesty.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. As I listen to your journey, I'm reminded of what Sachin said, where he said, enjoy your game and chase your dreams. Dreams do come true. So that's my takeaway from what you said, Mr. Dinesh. Moving on to the next question is from B. Varalakshmi from Santhanam Vidhyalaya. Who's your role model?
I've always found it very hard to say X was my role model or Y was my role model, because I think I drew a lot of attributes. Like, say, let me give you an example. From MS Dhoni, I looked at how great his ability to stay in the present was. He's always calm under pressure. With Rahul Dravid and Anil Kumble, I was always amazed at how they had very limited talent, but they maximized their potential. With Sachin Tendulkar, I was always amazed at how humble he was in spite of all the accolades he got. At Virat Kohli, I'm amazed with how he is so fitness oriented and how he makes fitness move his game forward in every direction. With Rohit Sharma, I'm just amazed at the amount of family time that he's able to give amidst his busy schedule. So in various people, I see various things, and that's how I've always grown. That's why, I don't have one favorite actor or one favorite actress or, one role model. I see various things. Like, Roger Federer is somebody who exemplifies the fact that if you're passionate about something that you're doing, age is just a number. You can keep going till your body is allowing you to. So there are various things. If you take a Rafael Nadal, the ability to fight back in adversity, a never say give up attitude. These are things that I see in him. So, various people, I see all the goodness in them. And I think I would like to embrace all the goodness in them and bring it forward in my life. All the students as well, when you'll definitely, watch a lot of different people excelling in different disciplines, be it, maybe they're the best policeman, maybe they're the best traffic policeman, maybe they're the best cricketer, maybe the best basketballer. But various people have various strengths to derive from. What we need to see is judge them for all the goodness and take all the goodness possible in our life and move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So the next question is from myself. So you're the hero of the Hero 2018 Nidahas Trophy, of course. We all still remember the final shot that you hit. And when you came in to bat, India needed about 34 runs from 12 balls. And that was such a high pressure situation. And then hitting that 6 off that last ball and just sealing that trophy for India, such an amazing moment. Now, the takeaway, at least for me looking at it, is how calm you were. You spoke about MS Dhoni, but you yourself were very composed and calm throughout that entire journey. So can you speak about the importance of being calm and also any reflections you have from the Nidahas Trophy final match?
I must admit that I'm very happy that you asked me this question, because this is a question that is very important, not only in my life, but in every student's life as well. This question, the answer is only one word: preparation. In the lead up to this tournament, Rohit Sharma told me I'll be batting at 6 and 7. So, my preparation was I have to go in there. I'll get only 10 to 12 balls. In a T20 game, if you're batting at 6 and 7, you'll only get 10 to 12 balls, not more than that. More often than not, that is. So, I was preparing only for these 10 to 12 balls. How can I score 25 runs? How can I score 28 runs? So, my first reflection to this is, when you're preparing for an exam, it's important that you realize what you need to prepare for, and you keep repeating your preparation in such a way that it becomes subconscious to you. It's important that whatever you prepare, the people who prepare well, one thing that does happen to them is it becomes subconscious nature to them. So when I went in and we needed 34 runs of 12 balls, for a lot of people it was unachievable, it was impossible, but I had practiced so much that I believed I could get those runs. And that is what helped me move forward in that game with the confidence and the calmness that you speak about on that day, because I believed I had practiced enough to execute those runs in those many balls. And that's exactly what's required for a student as well. When you prepare well for any exam, you will walk into an exam. There is a difference between being excited and being fearful. Excitement is when there is a little bit of nervousness, but you've prepared the best that you can, and whatever comes your way, you will try your best to attempt it and achieve it. Whereas if you're fearful, that means you've not prepared well enough and you might be a little scared. So the difference between preparation and not preparation is being excited and being fearful. When I went into that game, I was excited. I was very nervous. I wasn't sure if I'll do it. But one thing I did know was I had prepared for it, and I'm going to give it everything I have so that I could, achieve the best result possible on that day.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So on the topic of the Nidahas Trophy, we have a question from a student, S. Sai Prashanti from BVM Global School. She's asking about your mindset before and after the final match versus Bangladesh. You've already spoken about how you prepared before the match. So maybe afterwards, how was it transitioning to a match winner and a finisher?
When you've done well in a certain aspect in life, after that, the second phase of it becomes repetition. And then you raise the bar a little more. At that stage in international cricket, nobody had scored 34 runs in 12 balls. No team had achieved it. So for me to achieve that in international cricket, set a certain benchmark for the international cricket to move forward to. And after that, you need to, what comes to you is confidence. And with confidence comes the ability to improve and move your benchmark slightly higher so that you can push your standards of cricket to one step higher. In every aspect in life as well, when you set a certain goal and you achieve it, the next step beyond that is to raise the bar higher, move forward, raise the bar higher, move forward. And when you're constantly in the process of trying to better what you've always done, you will always move forward in life. If you get 80% in 10 standard, it's important that you get 85, 87% in 12 standard. How are you going to raise that 10%? How are you going to raise that 5%? And this is how life moves as well. The more you keep raising the bar for yourself, if you see a horse, they have what is called a blinkers. They close their eyes so that they move straight in their path. When a horse runs a race, it is never sure what is happening close to it. There are actually horses running along with it, but because they have the blinkers, they're never looking right or left. They're looking straight. And that's how we should be in our life. Literally, with our blinkers, we have a path to run, and we run as fast as we can in the space provided to us. And when you do that, what that means is you're competing against yourself, and you're constant. Never look at the person who's getting first rank, second rank, third rank. If you keep working on yourself, keep studying, and keep moving forward in life, eventually you will always reach a place which will surprise yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So the next question is related to fitness. Now, of course, Robin Singh had once commented that Mr. Dinesh Karthik is one of the fittest sports persons from India. So if you could, if I can just also add on, Ambujavalli from Savitri Vidhyasala and Dhanush V from Akhilandeshwari School I have asked a question along these regarding your fitness schedule. So the specific question is, can you elaborate on your morning schedule and training during the pandemic?
During the pandemic, obviously, I don't get the privilege to go to gyms, but I'm lucky enough to have a house where I can do a few exercises. So generally in the morning when I wake up, I do various exercises. And exercise is something, because I'm a sportsman, I'm an elite sportsman. The exercises that I do will be very different to what you all need to do basically. But definitely two things that I would like to speak about. One, always exercise. A healthy mind is one which is well exercised. And what happens when you exercise is your ability to concentrate and your ability to grasp things, to understand things becomes much better. We all speak about cricketers being fit and say footballers being fit. But do you know that a chess player, a Vishwanathan Anand, also trains? Well, why does he need fitness? All he's doing is sitting in one place and playing a sport called chess. But why he needs fitness is when you become fitter, when you exercise, your mind becomes stronger. Your mind becomes far more open to things, and it can understand and absorb things a lot faster. So always, make sure there is a little bit of activity in terms of fitness, moving around, running around, jumping around, whatever. Don't keep sitting on your mobile phones or your video games or on TVs much longer than what is necessary. Always, run around, do all the things. Right now, because of the pandemic, I understand that you all don't have the opportunity to run around in an outside place, but definitely do something that is at least 10-15 minutes, that which will help your mind, so that when the mind is in a good place, you always have the ability to understand and absorb things much faster.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So the next question is from B. Dhanush Kumar from Sri Jayendra Matriculation School. When you're captaining a team, how do you lead the team and communicate with them during critical situations?
Captaincy slash is leadership. In leadership, one of the most important, and you need two qualities that are very, very, very important for a leader. One is honesty and one is empathy. Honesty is being very true to the vision, very true to the goal, very true to everything around you, to the person, etc., etc. Empathy for a leader means the ability for the leader to go into the shoes of that person that you're speaking to, or that person that is in your team, to understand what they are going through, so that you can help them in the right direction. I think these are very, very important attributes for any leader. As soon as you're able to achieve these two goals with every person, they will all come in play for you the way you want to, and do the things. So the most important thing, when you're honest with them and when you empathize with them consistently, what you will do is win the trust of that person. When you have won the trust of that person, in critical moments, they will always stand up for you, and they will always do the best that you can, because they not only want to be the best version of themselves, but they want to do everything they can for the leader, and that is leadership. When a leader is able to bring out the best out of every person in the team, it is the best chance of success.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. The next question is a tactical question. This is from RP Daswant Shri from Santhanam Vidhyalaya. What was the best idea you gave to a bowler that enabled that bowler to take a wicket?
So there was a game in indoor. It was KKR versus Kings 11. Kings 11, there was KL Rahul, who was just hitting us everywhere. He was just smashing us. And one of our best bowlers is Sunil Narayan. And even Sunil Narayan was smashed by KL Rahul that day. So we had to find a way to get him out. In cricket, as a bowler, you can bowl in two places. One is right arm over, one is right arm around. When you go to the left of the umpire, it is right arm over. When you go to the right of the umpire, it is right arm around. So he was constantly bowling from right arm over the wicket, and he was getting hit. So I told him to go right arm around and bowl at a different angle. So he did that, and the next ball we got a wicket. And that is something that I'm very satisfied and very proud of, because your ability to think on your feet is very important. And for that to happen, when you have to think on your feet, when you're faced with a little bit of adversity, the best chance for you to succeed is if you're very calm and you can focus on the moment and not get angry with everything else that is happening around you. As soon as you hit adversity, you have to tunnel. There's something called tunnel vision. You got to bring all those thoughts and channelize it. And as I said before, put the blinkers on and think straight as to what you need to do, and you will get the right answers.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So the next one is three students have asked this question. A.R. Ukalasini, Pavitra Varshini Madhavan from Mahatma Gandhi Centenary Vidhyalaya, and I.L. Nikhilesh from Santhanam Vidhyalaya. What's the importance of sports as it relates to academics and life? So you've already spoken a bit about it, but if you could just expand on that, please, Mr. Dinesh.
Sports builds characters. Sports develops human beings. So when you choose sports, there is two ways to go about it. One is a hobby, so it's completely okay. So when you choose sport, you in turn end up running around, playing around, working your mind, and that helps you make the right decisions and move forward in life. Sports teaches you. One of the things that every human being needs to learn is the ability to deal with failures consistently, because whenever you're going through life, you will always face a lot of failures and face adversity as well. When you have played sport, when you've been part of a team, you learn to understand and react to it in a much better. I think when you're always involved in sport, the ability to deal with adversity is much better, and that's one of the strengths of all sportsmen, because they see failure every day almost, so they know how to react to it. And that is always one of the reasons why sportsmen are far more balanced in life and far more acceptant of a lot of things that is thrown at them.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. I'm reminded of what Sachin Tendulkar said, which is people throw stones at you and you convert them into milestones. That's certainly true for global athletes, including yourself, Mr. Dinesh. So thank you for being an inspiration. The next question is from me. It's a question on a lighter note, Mr. Dinesh. So you have gifted bats to some of your friends and fellow cricketers. In fact, one of them is your colleague at the international level representing India. He went on to score his first 50 using the bat that you gave at the international level. And there's few more stories like this as well. So on a lighter note, what's the secret behind your bat, Mr. Dinesh?
Sharing is caring. I always, I've always enjoyed giving bats to people, because luckily, I think God had blessed me with the skill with those bats. Even if I don't get runs, whoever I give it to, they score runs. So I always, keep spreading my bats around over a period of time. Various people, including the likes of A.B. de Villiers, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. I can name a lot of cricketers, but doesn't matter. They've all used my bats and they've got more runs, way more runs than me as well. So that gives me a lot of happiness. And you feel happy at the end of the day if God has given you the ability to hold to have things and you can share it amongst people. There is no greater joy than that.
Thank you. And you're being humble, very humble, Mr. Dinesh. What you've achieved at the global level consistently over the last 17 years is just phenomenal at the international level. And looking at your strike rate and your average and all of that, you're certainly the pride of India, Mr. Dinesh. So the next question is from Mr. Kaushik Srinivasan C. What are the learnings from your father on and off the field?
I think just like all the other fathers around, I think he wanted me to excel in the passion, which is cricket for me. And, he used to come and throw balls to me. And, he used to be a club cricketer as well. So over a period of time, he's come and, obviously when I didn't have practice and when I didn't have, places to go and play, he used to, throw balls to me inside the house, take me to various grounds, get me into various club teams. When you're in Tamil Nadu, it's a very hard place to play because there is so much competition. But at a young age, he was able to, put me onto the right people so that they could help me give a chance in the team. And that's how I moved forward. Without his help, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm very proud and I'm very happy to have a father like him who's supported my journey at a very young age. And most importantly, always had the ability to say it's okay, pursue your ambition and make sure that you're the best at it.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So the next question is on a lighter note again. There are, cricket is a very intense sport. So can you share some lighter stories or lighter moments when you've played a match? Like there was one instance where you and Ashwin interacted in Tamil during an international game, and that was very, very nice and warming, very warm for all of us to watch. So can you share any such light moments from your international cricket?
Oh, there are hundreds of stories. This forum would be we can go on till evening if we speak about that. But there is Ashwin. There is 1 minute. Sorry. This is so there are two people that I speak on the ground in our local language, which is Tamil. One is Ashwin, and right now in KKR there is Varun Chakravarti, who I speak to in Tamil. So people find it fascinating because we are just talking tactically and we are just saying where to bowl, enna pannalam, enna pannakudadu, inge podu, anga podu, those kind of things. And when people hear Tamil, and obviously there's a lot of Tamil speaking people who enjoy the sport and watch the sport, so it develops into something fun. But we've been lucky a lot of the times. If English players are playing or if West Indies playing, he for sure doesn't understand Tamil, and we can get him out and do something that he's not expecting and get him out. So it's always a lot of fun to do it that way.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So we've been doing our research, and during the pandemic lockdown, again a lighter question. During the lockdown, it looks like you've developed some baking skills, Mr. Dinesh. So if you could just share your views on any hobbies that you have picked up during the pandemic.
One hobby which I picked up is vacuuming the house. I bought a new vacuum just before the lockdown, and I ended up cleaning the house a lot with the vacuum. Anybody needs their houses clean, please feel free to call me.
I guess we all have to do our bit for our houses as well. So message well taken. So for the students, kindly help out your parents with household activities. So that would be my takeaway from what Mr. Dinesh just said. All right, last couple of questions, Mr. Dinesh, with your permission.
Sure.
This question is from Veera Akshay Lakshmi from Santhanam Vidhyalaya. What are your views on women's cricket and any motivational messages that you have for girls to succeed in sports?
Girls are the future of the world, sir. In every aspect of life, they are the torch bearers, they are the flag bearers, they are moving in every field in the right direction and creating such a beautiful legacy for the future to come. In every field, you see, be it being an IPS, being an IAS, being a cricketer, being a footballer, being any aspect, be it cryptocurrency, be it anything that you speak about today in the world, you always see at the forefront of it a lot of times is a woman today. She is the strength of what men are, and even in cricket, they're doing fabulously well. If we are speaking about women's cricket today, it's because of how they played in the T20 World Cup that happened a couple of years ago, and the 50-over World Cup that they played a few years ago. The thanks to BCCI, and they're slowly promoting women's cricket, and you can see some brilliant cricketers coming along. Before, it was always Mithali Raj was the Tendulkar of women's cricket, but now over a period of time, there is Harmanpreet Kaur, Smriti Mandhana. There are so many cricketers who are coming up. For all the girls, please, you all will, any sport and any field that you all choose to do in, you all will excel, because I always believe you'll have the heart in your right place, and when you all choose to do something, you'll always give your 100% honesty, commitment, and you'll give everything that you'll have towards the path that you'll have chosen. So if you'll do choose any sport, have no doubt that you'll will excel in it. And the greatest of achievers in the world right now, have all been women over a period of time, and I'm sure every girl on this platform who is listening to me speak have something special to offer in this world. Women are a very special being, a very special species, so to say, and they always have helped move the world forward. And I'm sure every student here will have the opportunity in life, and that if you all choose the right path, you all will excel in it. And I have no doubt in that.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. The last question is from B. Rohit Survey from Sri Jayendra Matriculation School. Can you share any plans you may have for impacting the cricket community in India and also specifically Tamil Nadu?
One of the ideas that I've thought about, which I cannot execute as of now, but I will pass it on to the right people, I feel is there are a lot of untapped talent in India. There could be, even in Santhanam, there could be so many cricketers who have not achieved their potential, or who don't know how to move forward with having the potential that they can. If you split Tamil Nadu into 4, quadrants and you have an academy in each of the major districts, I think you all will have, we will have the ability to produce a lot of special cricketers. One of the greatest examples is for me and Natarajan. In the village, he's from a village called Chinnamapatti, which is a very small village, north of Salem. And for him to come from there and to be to achieve and become one of the greatest cricketers, not greatest cricketer, at least one of the greatest cricketers from Tamil Nadu for sure, is something that we all can be proud of. But he was so lucky in various ways that he met the right people at the right time, and that helped him to get an opportunity to play league cricket, and from there move on and achieve all his goals and ambitions. Has been fabulous. Like many Natarajans, there might be many Natarajans on this forum that we speak, in the schools that we speak, not knowing how to move forward. They might be good bowlers, they might be mystery spinners, there might be various things. But, I'm trying to create a place where every person, whoever picks up a bat and ball, and if they feel they have talent, they can come and showcase their talent. And if the association feels it's good enough, become part of the academy and, obviously pursue it in the right way. Let's hope that something like that will happen in the near future for Tamil Nadu.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. So regarding the autograph bats, the message that I have for the students. So from all the questions that have been asked today, Mr. Dinesh Karthik and team will select the best 5 questions, and we will be announcing the winners within the next 1 week. We will contact the winners directly, and you will be getting, again, thanks to Mr. Dinesh for his generosity, you will all be getting miniature autographed bats, which have been autographed by Mr. DK himself. So thank you once again, Mr. Dinesh.
Just a couple of things before we close this forum. First of all, எல்லாரையும் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு virtual forumல பார்க்குறேன். I genuinely wish and I will definitely make an effort once the pandemic gets over and when time is right. I'm hoping that I can have a word with Chandrasekharan sir and I'll come to the schools and meet all of you all in person. That is one of my genuine aims and ambitions. We will try and make it happen. At this point of time, in the COVID-19 எல்லாருக்கும் கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்கு. For all the students, do 3 things. One, make sure that you have a look at your books and study for at least an hour a day. Make sure that you do something fitness related. When I say fitness related, it could be anything. You just or YouTube திறந்தீங்கனாவே ஒரு 1000 விஷயம் இருக்கு. Have a look at it and do at least 10-15 minutes of anything, squats, running, just நிறைய விஷயம் இருக்குங்க, பண்ணணும்னு நினைச்சா நிறைய இருக்கு. Most importantly, the third thing, try and help your parents and be with them in today's world. To spend quality time with parents has become so hard. Simple things like ஒரு breakfast or lunch or dinner or family உட்கார்ந்து சாப்பிடுறது, இதோட ஒரு நல்ல opportunity நினைச்சாலும் கிடைக்காது. Maybe in the future we won't even get. When you sit on the table, please don't sit on the table with your mobile phones or keep looking at Instagram and various social media activities or video games. So இல்லாம ஒரு genuine effort எடுங்க, அப்பா அம்மாவோட ஜாலியா பேசுறதுக்கு. Even if it is 10-15 minutes, இந்த டைம் கடவுளா கொடுத்த ஒரு டைம். வீட்லயே இருந்து, if you are with parents, we are safe. This will give you the best opportunity to grow as a family, and which will in turn help. ஒரு 15 வருஷம்க்கு அப்புறம் when you turn back and when you look at it, you all will enjoy these 2 weeks and 3 weeks that you have spent with your parents far more than a lot of things that you will achieve on the way. So make sure we have our heart in the right places. I understand in the காலத்துல phone and TV ஒரு பெரிய distraction. Give it time, obviously enjoy it a little bit, but it is not as important as you think it is today. Sitting on social media and playing video games is not as important as you think. Keep a certain time limit for it. எப்படி 1 hour தான் படிக்கிறதுக்கு வச்சிருக்கீங்களோ அதே மாதிரி 1 hour அதுக்கும் வைங்க. சோஷியல் மீடியாவா இருக்கட்டும் இல்ல வீடியோ கேம்ஸா இருக்கட்டும். Spend a lot of time with your family. உங்க அப்பா அம்மாவோட கூட இருந்து, உங்க அக்கா தங்கச்சிங்களோட கூட இருந்து. That time is very very valuable. Spend it the right way. Table உட்காரும்போது தயவு செஞ்சு make an honest effort to not have your phones and focus on having the conversations, even if it means nothing. In the long run, I'm sure it will be far more futile and far more useful for you all.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. That's a very wonderful and very optimistic and highly relevant message for all the students. So before I hand it over to Senior Principal Ma'am to deliver the official vote of thanks, I would just like to say hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. When talent and hard work come together, that is Mr. Dinesh Karthik for you. Thank you so much for being an inspiration and for being so humble. That's yet another quality. There are so many qualities that we all can learn from you. And certainly, humility is one of those qualities as well. So, thank you once again, sir, for taking your valuable time to interact with all of our students and all of the school students of Trichy. So with that, I would like to now request our senior principal of Santhanam Vidhyalaya CBSE Senior Secondary School, Mrs. Padma Srinivasan ma'am, to propose the official vote of thanks.
Good morning, everybody. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked hard to make today's event a grand success. Prayers to God Almighty, whose blessings and grace enabled us to make this event happen as it is today. My hearty thanks to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Dinesh Karthik, Pride of Tamil Nadu, who has accepted our invitation and acceded to grace this occasion by sharing his vast experience in the field of cricket. We are indeed grateful to have such a wonderful personality with us here today. The life journey experiences shared by him gave us deep insights and different perception about life itself. It served as a great source of motivation and helped to instill the need of confidence, courage, team spirit, and determination, along with the most important values for life and the will to win in the minds of students. Sir, it's a blessing in disguise that you are here with us on cancellation of IPL and you are here with us. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. I extend my sincere gratitude to our beloved Madam Secretary, National College Council, former Vice Chancellor of Bharathidasan University, for her valuable motivation and unflinching support. Thank you, ma'am. I feel honored in thanking our CEO for his eager beaver attitude and continuous encouragement in attaining our goals and improving the overall development of the students with global perspectives. Thank you, sir. I am grateful to our Director, Madam, for her extended guidance and support and being an impetus for the fulfillment of our institution. A big thanks to the principals, vice principals, and webinar and IT and event committee of all our academic institutions for their unending support and encouragement. I must definitely mention here their mammoth efforts right from roping in Mr. Dinesh Karthik, our special guest, to consolidating thousands of registrations and hundreds of questions for today. Hats off to the entire team working under our CEO meticulously. Kudos to the entire team. I would also appreciate the students of our schools, Santhanam Vidhyalaya Senior Secondary School, Sri Jayendra Matriculation School, and the students of Shankara Matriculation School, and of course, many students from various other schools and the public viewers for their active participation and cooperation in making this event a more successful and meaningful one. I am sure the session would have provided you with multiple takeaway for life. I would like to quote here how relatable life and cricket are. Life is a cricket. Don't lose your wicket. Try to get century, but never forget your boundary. Even if you are run out, never become moved out, because God is the third umpire. Thank you all for this great opportunity to be together. Thank you once again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Dinesh, sir, once again for your time. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.